Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. We got a lot of stuff going on. Jake's in Barbados naked with Joe's. It's okay. We got our guy Jolly here with us. Let's go. I think he might be naked with Joe's.
I don't want to see that, man.
I kind of do.
I've seen more of Joe's McFly than I ever need to see.
Freddie Peralta.
Cal Teal. Ooh, good one. Sorry.
Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. A lot of chatter early on in this episode, but that's what happens when our guy Jake Story-Alley's out of here. You know, he's all buttoned up all the time. We're the fun ones, Jolly. That's what everyone always says.
It's true.
Again, Jake, Jimmy, Joe's, Cole Tucker, Shelfie, Jimmy Norp. Who else is out there?
Zoe's out there. Ryan
Zoe's
Cullen.
out there.
It's
A bunch
squad.
of our guys in the office are in Barbados in a cricket tournament. We have to have some real adults in the room, and that's where we come in, taking over this show. Jolly, I appreciate you as always. One of the best ball knowers in the company. Thank you for coming on. How you doing? I know the Mets are doing good, but how are you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm excited to do today's show. I was kind of going through Dalton's 85-page study guide that you guys go through 3 times a week, and there's a lot of good ball that we get to talk about. So I'm very excited that I got to do this episode specifically.
Yeah, the show is presented by SeatGeek. You use code TALKIN 2025 for 10% off your order. And you're right, there's a lot of really, really good ball. And I think that's kind of how we're going to approach the episode. You're going to take over Burns, which is a lot of fun. I get him. Everyone knows that. I think you're going to do a great job. And then there's just so much. There's so much to talk about that we might go a little unconventional on this episode. That's all right. We're going to talk ball no matter what. So I think, Jolly, if you want to, let's just get into it, Pop. And because it's Friday, we're starting with the
AO?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, people. All right. It's Friday, so we're in the American League, and we're starting in the Motor City. First name on the sheet is the Mets. Thanks a lot, Dalt. Mets take 2 out of 3 on the road. Nolan McLean learned his name. First pitcher in 11 years to win his first 4 MLB starts, and the Mets just called up another pitching prospect, Brandon Sproat. Here's a name you do know, Juan Soto. 3 stolen bases away from 30-30. He'd be the first one this season, and he hits his second career grand slam in this series. Tigers salvage the finale behind Kerry Carpenter's 3-run homer off Ryan Helsley. Those numbers are ugly. Take a look, or don't. That's fine with me. Tigers have lost 7-10. Keep your eye on that, except you don't have to because the division is over. Trev's going to tell you about it. Red Sox take 2 out of 3 from Cleveland at home. What's the story in this one? It's Trevor, not the one on your screen. Trevor's story continues to go. Homer in Game 1. 2 RBIs in Game 2. Aroldis Chapman with another save. He hasn't allowed a hit in 2 months. Garrett Crochet gets a little touched up, but it doesn't matter for Boston. They win that game anyway. Guardians win the finale, and it's ugly. Ugly second inning full of errors, wild pitches, and Roman Anthony out for 4 to 6 weeks. Keep your eye on that one. Is he back for the playoffs? The White Sox 4-game mop the Twins. Oh, no. Trevor, come home. It's not worth covering them. Colson Montgomery hits another homer. Kyle Teal, big homer yesterday, but we get to talk about Zebby Matthews later. Trev's jazzed up about that. Rays sweep the Mariners. Mariners continue to hurt me year in and year out. They've lost 11 of their last 13 road games. And guess what, man? If they make the playoffs, they're not hosting the series. I promise you that. So keep your eye on that. The Mariners rotation, fishy. 3 bad starts in this one. Junior Caminero gets to 40 home runs. The second Ray ever to do that. Congratulations to him. 4 teams within 3 games of the Seattle Mariners. Oh, no. The Yankees continue to win at Minute Maid Park. They take 2 of 3 from the Astros. Don't look now. They've won 10 of 12, and they're going up north to face the Blue Jays next. Max Fried has put together a few good starts. Framber throwing at his catcher. He denies it. Who's signing him this offseason? Not the Astros, maybe the Rockies. High ground ball rates. Let's make it happen. We got ejections, balks, and wild pitches in Game 2. That's just an average Wednesday for the Yankees bullpen, but they salvage the finale. Trent Grisham, 30 home runs. How much money does he get in the offseason? I'm still wondering about it. Astros also had a bat confiscated in the finale. Bring back cheating. We need villains. The Angels won a series in Kansas City. Joe Adell's got 33 home runs on the year. Only Cal, Judge, and Junior have more in the AL. The Royals have lost 4 out of 5 before they salvage that finale. The AL wildcard chase is heating up, and that is what happened in the American League.
Holy shnikes, Charlie. I mean, that is just phenomenal right there. I know you wrote it down, so like a couple points off because Jake does it off the top of the head.
Which is crazy, by the way. Like, that needs to be appreciated more. I had to, I
try to do it. That's why I stink at it.
It's hard, man. It's tough.
The only good joke I've ever had on this show during a recap, I wrote one. I said, like a bag of Swedish fish, this one was all Reds.
That's good. Hey.
That's a great joke.
Chris Rose would have loved that one.
Well, you did a great job. We're going to get into the standings, but the standings are brought to you by Best Western Hotel and Resorts. Jolly, you love Best Western Hotel and Resorts. You do. Life's a trip. Why not make the most of it? With over 4,000 hotels worldwide, Best Western is there for every detour, destination, and unexpected turn along the way. Whether you're hitting the road with Jolly, traveling for work, or chasing the next big game, there's always a room waiting for you. But a great stay isn't just about rest. It's about what comes next. A great stay just doesn't help you recharge. It sets the tone for the early wake up, the late night arrival, or the last minute change of plans. Best Western gets it. They get it. Traveling isn't one size fits all. It's for the planners and the procrastinators, the loyalty point collectors, and the I just booked it crowd. I'm a loyalty point collector myself.
Of course.
So whether you're traveling solo with your friends or with the entire roster, Best Western has you covered. Pack your bag, queue up the playlist, hit the road. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. They really are there in a pinch, Charlie.
They really are.
Wherever you are, there's a Best Western ready to take you in, and it's going to be a great stay for you.
Me and Rob. Oh, no, Rob's not going to Chicago at the end of the month. Let me down, but we'll be going back there with Best Western, so shout out.
Unbelievable. I have the standings right here. Would you like them?
I would love to hear those standings, Trev.
Like you need air. We'll start out east in Toronto. The Blue Jays still with a 3-game lead, 81-59 for them over the New York Yankees, who are 78-62. Boston a half game back of the Yanks. Tampa Bay surging, 71-69. Not going to be in the division race, but we'll talk about the wild card in a second. Baltimore 64-76. They've been playing better ball as of late. We'll go to the Central. You mentioned Detroit, kind of struggle bus right now. Doesn't matter because they have a 9.5 game lead, 81-60 for them. The Kansas City Royals, 2 games over 500. I'm here in Kansas City right now, people. It's beautiful. I also bought my Powerball tickets here.
Billy?
Pretty good. Yeah, I
Billy?
did. Yeah. 71-69 for the Royals, 69, nice, and 70 for the Cleveland Guardians, who we're going to talk about a couple at bats there they had in that series. My Twins, not going to talk about it. 62-78, 53-88 for the White Sox, who just mopped them, like you said. Holy shnikes. Out west, this is the craziest thing, dude. Houston, 3.5 game lead. They're not even playing great ball. They haven't been playing great ball. They got controversy. They got all sorts of stuff, but Seattle can't figure it out. 77-64 for Houston, 73-67 for Seattle. The Rangers are right on Seattle's tail, 72-69, 66-74 for the Angels, and the Athletics 64-77. Now, Jolly in the wild card, it's the Yankees with the top spot. Boston half game behind them, and then here it is, Seattle holding on to the last spot by a thread. 73-67 for them. 1.5 games back are the Rangers. 2 games back are the Royals. 2 games back are the Tampa Bay Rays. And Cleveland, I'll add you in there. 3.5 games back, but you're under 500, so we really aren't supposed to talk about you. Those are the standings in the American League.
Nobody better.
Put that graphic back up.
It's a nice looking graphic, Rob.
It's a great graphic. Okay, so if the season ended today, we would have the 2 teams getting buys would be the Toronto Blue Jays and the Detroit Tigers. They'd sit at home. They'd watch the wild card round, and then Seattle would be at Houston, and Boston would be at the Yankees.
I don't want to be mean to these teams, but this is what I want. No, that's right. Red Sox at Yankees.
Houston is okay. That's right. I keep thinking about wild card seeding, but it's the last division winner.
This is what I want right here. These are the matchups I want.
Golly. Seattle doesn't want that.
I know it doesn't feel like it, man, but I want to watch that.
Okay. I do too. All right, let's get into it a little bit. And again, I think since you're here hosting the show, let's start in Detroit. Let's talk about your Mets a little bit. I have some questions for you. They take 2 or 3. They bang the ball around the park in the first 2 games, which is really nice. Juan Soto's been on an absolute heater. And is that a shock to anybody? I don't think so. I guess my question to you about this Mets team, in general, the rotation, it's changed. It's been all over the place this year, and all of a sudden we're finding this like lane of rookie starters coming up. Is this going to be what we're going to see in the postseason? Like, are we going to see, like, is McLean going to start game 1? Probably not, right? Peterson, McLean, and then where do you go after that? Is Tong involved in this? Like, Clay Holmes has been pretty damn consistent. This new guy they're bringing up can't be in the postseason. He can be in the postseason.
He can, yeah.
So, like, where do they go for that?
So, like, if you put the Mets in a 3-game series right now, I think you like their pitching setup. They have Peterson, who is coming off a pretty tough month of August, but had a really good month of July, and this is going to be his career high in innings, so we'll see how September goes. McLean, I think right now is your game 1 starter, which sounds crazy because he's made 4 major league starts, and he's leapt up from high A to the major leagues this year, but he's been that good. And we got to see him adjust to a little bit of adversity in the start against the Tigers, where they put up 2 on him in the first inning, and then after that, he battled back, found what was working, and struck out the side late in the game, retired the last 14 in a row in this start. Right now, he is your most powerful option in terms of starting pitching. So I think the Mets would go to him for that game 1 ball. And then I think they have to see more, but Jonah Tong looked great in his debut. And I just think it's a matter of what you know and what you don't know. And right now for the New York Mets, these young guys kind of feel like the wild card. Like, they don't exactly know what they could get, but it could be of a higher ceiling than what they've seen from Kodai Senga, who hasn't completed 5 innings in almost 2 months, or Sean Manaea, who seems to hit a wall every time he gets to the 4th inning. Clay Holmes, yes, he's been good. I think you look at those numbers and you say, I'd sign up for that anytime. But it's clear that his second half hasn't been as strong as his first, and pitching is going to win you championships if you're looking to make this deep run. And I think the Mets are going to continue to give a lot of trust in these young arms, and you're going to see Brandon Sproat make his debut on Sunday as well against the Reds.
So we're talking a 3-game set. First game, obviously, so important. It's, to me, the reason I said Peterson won is just because there's just a little bit more dirt on the spikes. And does that mean everything? Absolutely not. Do you ride the hot hand sometimes? Sure. And does McLean, is it McLean or McLean?
It's McLean.
It's like in between.
It's McLean.
McLean.
Yeah.
When I hear broadcasters say it, it's like McLean. It's like in between.
I think they're unsure too.
McLean is the guy right now. Like, the stuff is filthy. It plays, obviously, but again, we're talking 4 starts. So that's kind of where my head is at with that. Like, do you go with a guy that's got a little bit more time, that maybe won't be, he'll be jacked up for the playoffs, sure, but like, it won't be just a complete shock to him. Good homer rate for Peterson as well. I think that's really important, especially in the playoffs. I think that's going to be the biggest thing to watch. I think the Mets offense is going to be completely fine. It's going to be, they're going to go as far as their pitching allows them to, which will kind of transitions into Helsley in the back in the bullpen. I know they have more options than him, but is he a guy that you have to see get right before the playoffs, or can he just be almost like, hey man, we tried and it didn't work out?
Yeah. I mean, we're approaching the territory of he might not even make that postseason roster, because the Mets have tried low leverage and high leverage early in games and late in games, and nothing has worked for Ryan Helsley. Is it still a pitch tipping issue? No one's really sure, including Helsley himself. But the fact of the matter is, he's throwing 102. He's throwing good sliders. He's mixing in curveballs, and he's still getting tattooed. And the Mets need another right-handed option that they can really trust in that bullpen, because it hasn't really been Ryan Stanek. Reed Garrett's been hurt. Brazaban's been up and down. Like, it's really just been a lot of pressure and stress on Edwin Diaz for these longer than 1 inning saves that he's been doing more and more and more, and you're just worried about burning that out. But the Mets are in a position where they have a couple lefties they like. Gregory Soto's been good, but Helsley, in my opinion, watching the team every day, it's gotten to the point where I don't think he's a feasible option for this team come October anymore.
Is there a world where we see one of these rookies end up in the bullpen for the playoffs? I think there is.
I think so too. I mean, like the Mets they have a bunch of guys that can give them 3 great innings. So it's going to be up to management to really figure out how to configure that. Like, is it going to be Manaea and Tyler McGill piggybacking off each other? Is it Brandon Sproat and Jonah Tong piggybacking off each other? They have a ton of options. It's just none of them are like kind of the Phillies, their division rival, where it's like, pencil this guy in for 6 innings. We'll figure out the bullpen after that. The Mets have to get very, very creative to figure out how they're going to eat up very important innings.
I think we see that anyway in the playoffs, like, managers deciding kind of what their pitching is going to look like. And it's very rare that you're going to say, hey, yeah, we got this guy, 6 innings, book it, then we'll bring in the bullpen. It just doesn't work that way.
Never.
The whole game is high leverage.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all you get to talk about the Mets today.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it? Okay.
I guess we didn't really talk about Juan Soto. Do you want? I mean, I got some stats.
Okay. We could go on all day, Trev.
You want some stats on Juan Soto? I think he deserves it. We're talking about Dalt's got this great on the sheet right now with runners in scoring position this season. Started off poorly, 634 OPS in April, 356 in May. That's tough. June starts to heat up, 812 OPS, but only 182. So, some homers there, great. And then July and August have been incredible. 993 OPS in July and a 1236, a one-dotter in August with runners in scoring position. Obviously, that's helped out their offense a ton. Swaggy V getting it hot. Pete, I picked for over 100 RBIs on the season. That happened in
better your life.
August 15th or something. So that was easy for me.
What were the odds on that? Do you remember?
It was about even. I mean, if you get hurt at all, it's tough.
Yeah,
but I figured the guy that gets on base at a 400 above clip, you're going to have a lot of opportunities.
Safe bet. Nice.
Safe bet. Nice bet by me. Attaboy.
Not bad.
Let's move on. I guess let's go Guardians Red Sox here. Guardians, I know they're close, but we only got 21 games left in the season. These 3-4 game leads, I know they don't look like a lot, but with that amount of games, they are a lot. I don't think the Guardians are making the playoffs. Red Sox are going to make the playoffs, and they have some things to figure out now as well. We'll start off by talking about Roman Anthony. Goes on the IL with an oblique, supposed to miss 4 to 6 weeks. That's going to put him obviously out for the rest of the regular season. And the only thing you can think of, can the Red Sox, number one, make it to the divisional round? And number two, like, would he be available in that round if they did? And coming in cold, it's going to be very tough. But Jolly, a huge blow to this Red Sox team, because he's been a catalyst. He's been the leadoff hitter for them, like a literal catalyst. So what do you got there? Do you think they can survive being a Roman Anthony-less team?
It's really tough because he was finally starting to find his power too. His last 13 games, he had 4 home runs, which accounts for half that he's had on the season as a whole. And the really tough thing is Wilyer Abreu just suffered a setback in his rehab. So it's not even like, oh, okay, we'll just plug him in to Roman Anthony's spot. So it's a huge blow to the Red Sox lineup, because I felt like they found a lot of stability with Anthony at the top. It allowed them to move Duran down in the middle of their lineup. I think got better. Guys like Trevor Story and Alex Bregman having great seasons helps with that, but still it helps to have a guy setting the tone at the top. And you mentioned, is he going to be ready for the playoffs? The Red Sox have a lot of money invested in Roman Anthony now. This is not the kind of thing that you can really endanger him with. An oblique is serious, and it's a very, I want to say, tender injury that, like, if you try and push it too much, it can get a lot worse. So it's horrible timing for the Red Sox, who are enjoying, the blossoming of this 21-year-old prodigy that's going to lead their franchise going forward. And I really would have liked to see him under the lights, but as it stands, I would have a tough time seeing him return for that wildcard series.
I go back and forth on it because, I've dealt with obliques quite a bit in my career. They are a daunting injury. I will say this, though, if he comes back and pulls it again, he's got a whole offseason to recover. That's true. Like, it's not like a career threatening injury. Although, like, once you do it once, I feel like if you have a whole offseason, you'll be fine. When you start trying to come back quick, it's not a good thing. But if there's a time to try to push it a little bit with an oblique, it's to get back for the playoffs. Again, he'd have to come back pretty much cold. There's no rehab stint there. Like maybe some live ABs. You're going to go stand in on some pens. But I'd be interested to see if he is feeling good, if he's swinging the bat and he's in the cage and he's taking real swings, would they put him on a roster? Very curious to see if they would do that. But that's a huge story for them. In the series here, their starters get roughed up. Crochet has a tough start, although I do think, and this maybe is wrong. Back or 3 homers in 1 inning. It was Austin Hedges. So shout out our guy Hedges.
Let's go. I didn't know that. Let's go. That's awesome.
David Fry and Rocchio. Okay, bottom of the order guys for the Guardians. They all hit off speed pitches, 2 cutters and a sweeper. I don't know if he was tipping or something. These guys were all over those pitches. They were not good pitches or great pitches by any means. I wonder, because he does have some glove stuff. I wonder if they saw some of that. And if the Guardians did see some of that, that's something the Red Sox have to be very, very cautious of as we approach the playoffs. I think that's going to be one of the biggest storylines of the playoffs. We've kind of seen it over the last couple of years in the playoffs. Devin Williams had some stuff where we thought he was tipping. The way organizations approach this right now, I think that if you're a Red Sox fan, you have to say, hey, like, make sure we're going over every single pitch to see that he's not doing it, because you don't want to have that pop up all of a sudden in a 3-game set against the freaking Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm in hell with this right now with Ryan Helsley and the Mets. I've been watching it often. And it sucks for a pitcher because it really messes with you mentally if it starts to feel like that's the case, because no one's going to help you out. Like I saw Helsley talking to Jack Flaherty, his old teammate, of like, do you see anything? What should I do? And like, you have to hope that it's not the case for Crochet, but it is a little alarming to see the guys that ended up getting him in the start, because Crochet is a power pitcher, sure, but it's not like he's very susceptible to the long ball. So to see the bottom of the Guardians order, which is like, we talk about the middle of the Guardians order as being lackluster, to see that part of the order get him is like, it turns your head a little bit.
Yeah, just the swings they took. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. You got to gear up for damn near 100, and they're sitting back waiting on these pitches. It piqued my mind a little bit when I saw the swing. That's all I'm saying.
Chris Rose, pay attention.
I think that's it. I mean, Cleveland kind of on a tailspin. They're 7-14 in their last 21. I'd never know how they win games. I talk to Chris Rose about it all the time, and he says the exact same thing. I don't know how they win games, but they usually do. I don't. So that's one team I'll say I'll still give them a shot, because they just have that magic. But as of right now, they're just not playing good enough ball for us to really dive in on them.
Yeah, I mean, can't get fat in the White Sox this year. They're a good team.
You know who got really skinny against the White Sox this series? Real skinny. The Ozempic twins get swept.
They look great.
A 4-game sweep by the White Sox. We're not going to talk about this much. I just want to give a little bit of love. Kyle Teal, great swing. Colson Montgomery, you looked like the real deal. White Sox headed in the right direction, which I think is important to mention. And the Twins, on the other hand, not headed in the right direction. We're seeing some semblance of some good play. Luke Keyshaw looks great, but these two teams, we can't talk about these two teams, Jolly.
Onward, Jeff.
Onward. Jeez, man. I'll talk about them tonight on the broadcast.
I'm tuning in.
Hopefully I don't get fired for talking crap about my Twins. This was an interesting one. We got Seattle going down to Tampa Bay. We talked about Seattle and their woes, and Jolly, if we look at the Seattle team, they had 1 month. It was April. 16-9 in April, 13-14 in May, 13-14 in June, 14-12 in July, 15-12 in August, and now 0-3 in September. I mean, this has been a mediocre team. I've said this so many times on these shows, and it just baffles my mind. Okay, it's been a mediocre team except for that big month of April, which is fine. A lot of teams go through that, but we're talking about things couldn't be going better for most of the Mariners this year. Like Randy having a great year. Julio is doing his thing. Obviously, we know what Cal Raleigh's been doing. We've had some great pitching performances in the starting rotation. Munoz has been, solid all year. Like they've made trade acquisitions, although Eugenio hasn't been great for them. But they've went out and done every single thing that you're supposed to do, and they're just not winning. They're just not winning ball games. I mean, they get swept by the Rays, who are obviously on a heater. 7 games in a row for them. Jolly, a week ago, the Rays 64-69. They were 7.5 games back.
Something about the Rays in September, man.
Fast forward one freaking week,
it's crazy.
And we're sitting 2 games back, 7 in a row. They're hitting the shit out of the ball. They're throwing the shit out of the ball. Everything is going the Rays' way, and everything is not going the Mariners' way. I'll throw a Chris Rose question at you. Do you think the Mariners hold on?
I still think they do, but the scary thing for me is that they just can't seem to win road games. I mean, they've lost 11 of their last 13 road games, and you think of every great team in ball right now, they're able to win series on the road. You go up and down the AL playoff teams and their road records. Jays are 36-35, Tigers 36-33, Astros are 2 games over, Yankees 3 games over, Red Sox 500, and the Mariners 8 games under on the road. And the teams that are trailing them have good numbers there. And I just think that with them, like obviously when you look at a series and you say, okay, we gave up 25 runs in 3 games, we're probably not going to win that series. That's not the Mariners formula that we've come to know. It still begs the question of, are they going to be able to squeeze out these 1-run games down the stretch? Because their schedule, it's not daunting. I see Braves, I see Angels, I see Colorado Rockies on this. Sure, it's in front of them, but there's been no sign from them basically since before the deadline, really, that they're going to come back to life and play the ball that we expect them to. And I just feel bad for Mariners fans because they've been in this since May. They know that the team has been basically mid for the grand majority of the season outside of a good first month. You just hope that, you get hot at the beginning. Maybe you can also get hot at the end. I'm having a tough time seeing it right now.
Let's talk more about the Rays, I think.
Please.
We talk a lot about the Mariners. It's getting a little depressing. They're still in a playoff spot right now. Guys, take a shot of whiskey before the game. Chill out a little bit. Something. The Rays, on the other hand, have just been going just nuclear, man. Junior Caminero, obviously a huge part of that. He got to the 4,100 mark. We just say stats and just forget about what they actually mean. 40 homers and 100 runs driven in a big league season when you're 21 years old. He just turned 22. Your 21-year-old season is crazy. How crazy is it? 4th player in Major League history to do it. Mel Ott, Eddie Matthews, Ronald Acuna Jr. That's a great list to be on. First AL player to drive in 100 runs in his age 21 season since Alex Rodriguez.
Bang.
We're talking about all-time greats.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could throw Ronald Acuna Jr. in there because he has that talent. Okay, the longevity and the attitude, not sure. But, the talent is there. So just an incredible season for him. And I want to do a rating, Jolly, of my favorite swings in the game. He's one of them. When he connects, it's smooth, and he uses his body to get into the baseball. When he hits homers, man, he is getting all that weight. He's a big boy.
Oh, yeah.
All that weight transfers right into the barrel of his bat, and that thing explodes off it. A phenomenal year for him. And then just,
That's a tough pitch to get your hands in on. That's Brian Wu, 95.
Well, he's got the best bat speed in the league.
I know. It's just impressive.
Doesn't give a shit.
Those replays from Rob. Good shit, Rob.
Who's your favorite right-handed swing in the game? Quick, off the top of your head.
Favorite right-handed swing in the game? Dude, that's such a tough question. I mean, for a long time, it was Nolan Arenado, but you don't like that swing? That's crazy.
I mean, it's fine. It works. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I don't love the swing.
I kind of felt like you were saying he's a bad player. Not gonna lie. I'll say Mookie Betts. I love Mookie Betts' swing.
I'm Bo Bichette.
Oh, that's a good pick. Well, you thought about it. You put me on the spot there, man. All right?
I know I did. Well, right-hand swing's tough. Everyone's like, I love the left-handed swings. I do give the righties some love a little bit. What else we got to talk about with the Rays? Yandy Diaz is kind of doing it too. That helps a lot for them. Like the offense has come to life again, and the pitching staff has been incredible. That's kind of what we expect from them.
Yeah.
I actually had them in the playoffs at the beginning of the year. My AL East was Red Sox winning it, Tampa Bay as the wild card. I did not have Toronto in the playoffs. I did not have the Yankees in the playoffs. We might have 4 fucking AL East teams, and that would drive me crazy because I'd have to listen to Jimmy and Jake talk about the AL Beast.
I mean, we're getting close to the Rays hosting potentially a playoff game if they can get through that wild card round and get it to game. I mean, we're talking about playoff games at George Steinbrenner Field. So I don't want to say that I'm rooting against them, but it's not necessarily something I want to see.
Angels, Royals, great job by Bobby Witt with the big homer last night to kind of salvage. They were about to get swept. He
also made like the play of the year. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh yeah, that diving play was incredible. I'll talk about more about them maybe next episode because we're kind of going long here. Let's get to the Yankees and Houston, which I think was probably one of the crazier series like we've had in the entire year. It had everything, Jolly. It had horrible umpiring. It had like a inter-clubhouse drama between Framber and Cesar Salazar. Like crazy things happened here. Yankees end up taking 2 out of 3 as a huge series for them. They touch up Framber in that first game. If you didn't see it, Framber gives up a grand slam. There it is.
Trent Grisham, man.
Trent Grisham, who we're going to talk about more later in the show, Yankees fans. During the grand slam pitch, if you didn't see it, Cesar Salazar's telling him to step off. Framber doesn't step off, throws the pitch, grand slam. Next batter comes up, and there's pitch comm. It's really hard to get crossed up when you got pitch comm. It's not that loud in the stadium. I promise you that. You're able to hear that. Looked like Framber did it on purpose. Afterwards, both of these guys came out and said, oh, it didn't happen on purpose. It was just too loud. But if you look at the body language, and now I've been reached out to by a bunch of people who's basically said, like, Framber's kind of that guy. Like, he would do that. What's your take on it? I already said I think it was on purpose just because of the body language and some of the stuff we've seen from Framber before. And my take is it's literally like if they weren't in the playoff race or if Framber didn't mean so much to them, I would have sent his ass out. That is one of the worst things that you can do on a baseball field. It's actually like incomprehensible to me that you would actually do that. What do you got?
I mean, one good thing Cesar Salazar didn't get hurt because, I mean, that's 93 form. That's something could break right there, and that could have been a way worse situation. I do think it was intentional, and I think that pitch cost Framber Valdez a lot of money because I think teams recognize that. I think they recognize if he's a free agent this offseason, one of the better starting pitchers on the market, young guy too, comparatively, and teams are going to see that and they're going to register that as like this could be some kind of clubhouse problem. So if we're going to bring this guy in on a big contract, like we got to be careful about, our process. And I think that I don't know, you never know what the inner clubhouse turmoil is that's going on. But I just think that this was it's an ugly thing. Like you said that it doesn't happen very often anymore because of pitch comm. Yeah. When I saw it, cause I was watching this game live, I hadn't seen a pitcher and catcher get crossed up in a really long time. And I was like, how does that still happen? And then I started seeing people chime in online saying, well, it kind of looks intentional. And it's hard to refute, and that's why when you go in their interview clips and see Framber denying it and Cesar denying it, it looks like they're covering up because I think they are. Cesar
looks like he's covering up.
And good teammate.
He looks like he wants to say a lot of
like teammate
things.
Of the fucking year right there.
It's I hate doing it because there is context that does get lost in translation. So, through Framber's translator, he said, I wanted to throw a sinker. That was in my head. So that's what I threw. Or he said, I called for a sinker and that's what I threw. And the reporter, nice job, was like, you don't have the pitch comm. The catcher has it. So how could you call a sinker? Yeah. And he said, oh, it was just in my head. That's what I wanted to throw. It's like, okay, man, like that to me, like, yeah, it was bad. I agree with you that I think he did cost himself some money. And the reason I say that is this. I think that you can be like not a great teammate, but you produce and nobody really talks about it or digs too deep in there. Sure, they'll ask around a little bit. But stuff like this brings kind of like everybody out of the woodwork saying like, yeah, this guy's this guy's not a good guy in the clubhouse. Like, again, I got a bunch of messages talking about this. So that starts to be almost like common knowledge now. And yeah, if you're a team, you have to think about that. Yeah. Is he a great pitcher? 100%. Can he help your team on the mound? Yes. But what is it worth to your clubhouse if you're going to bring someone like that? Especially you give him a bunch of money and then you're like, okay, like, is he going to be the same guy? It's interesting, man. I was a big Framber stan, and now all of a sudden I got to rethink what I'm doing here.
I think I'm with you, but that's all I got on
that. Some really bad umpiring. Yankees were really upset about it. A couple quick hooks, Jess Chisholm, some bad calls, Devin Williams. I don't care about any of that because it's going to happen. And as many people have pointed out, the Yankees have benefited more than any other team from favorable calls this year. So I do not want to hear the Yankees fans come out and talk about Brian Walsh, even though he had a McMahon play last night where he said it was out of the transfer. That was a bad call.
That was his worst call of the week, probably. Like that was
what's that?
That was his worst call of the week. Like even from behind home plate, like that was his worst call.
That was horrible. But I want to reiterate, Yankees have been on the positive end of umpires' calls more than any other team in baseball this year. So like that to me, that's a non-story. It just got blown up.
I mean, it got blown up because of the picture of him in a Red Sox shirt, which was admittedly really funny. But this is the call that he messes up last night. McMahon catches this ball. It's in his glove. And then on the transfer, he drops the ball. But Brian Walsh says the ball bounced before he caught it. Apparently the play is not reviewable, and they confer, and then they basically just tell him, yep.
No, it is reviewable.
I mean, the call stood, though, which is...
Yeah, it is reviewable.
So they reviewed this, and then the call stood? That's even worse. How's that possible?
I don't know, Jolly.
That's
it's
crazy.
Bad umpiring.
I think Boone got tossed for this one. But this, and then shout out Carlos Rodon, because all this shit happens. He doesn't get the out. There's more stuff that happens in this inning delay-wise, too, and then he still finishes the sixth inning, which was big for the Yankees bullpen.
Yeah, Yankees look really good, man. Max Fried back, kind of doing it. 2 earned runs over his last 20 innings pitched. That's such a catch.
That's such a catch.
We're showing it for podcast listeners open. We're just showing a slow-mo of McMahon catching this ball.
I mean, it's in his glove so long. It's crazy.
It's so bad. We got more on the Yankees coming up later in the show. Again, they take 2 of 3. They're firmly entrenched in a playoff spot. I actually went and looked at the stats. Like, their offense
firing
pretty damn good. Cody Bellinger, a lot of money coming up. My guy Big Sleep, a lot of money coming up. I think that's it for the AL. What do you say we burn a little NL right now?
Let's see if I can go 2 for 2, Trev. Let's find out. Why not start the National League with the 2 best teams in the NL? The Phillies go to Milwaukee and they take 2 out of 3. They erase a 4-run deficit in Game 1. Mizorowski with another dud start. You may see him in a Jolly Olive Weird All-Stars video. Check back in 3 years. You can run, you can hide, but he is inevitable. Jose Quintana with another quality start. Freddie Peralta, I was 2 years early on him. He tosses 5 scoreless, 29 innings scoreless streak, but the Phillies win this series behind Ranger and the bullpen in Game 3. 3 zeros from D-Rob, Matt Strahm, and Yohan Duran. That feels like a formula. Christian Yelich sits out with back tightness. We hate that. Heal up soon. The Diamondbacks, they win the 2023 World Series rematch and take 2 out of 3 from the red-hot Rangers. Patrick Corbin, a rude homecoming in Arizona. Back-to-back home runs on back-to-back pitches to start the game. Marte and Perdomo, are they the best middle infield duo in baseball? More at 11. Diamondbacks win the last 2 games of this one after dropping the first. Lourdes tears his ACL on a freak play in the outfield. We hate that. Heal up soon. And the Rangers, their 6-game heater is snapped. The Nationals swept the Marlins. Did you watch? I didn't watch. Nasim Nunez goes from 0 home runs to 2 career home runs in 1 game. That's awesome. Good for them. Moving on. The Blue Jays take care of business. They win a set on the road in Cincinnati. Chris Bassett and Hunter Green duel in Game 1. They can't be more different in terms of how they get hitters out. I loved watching that game. Sal Stewart made his debut. Premium Paisan. Go look up his picture. It's awesome. Premium Italian. Gets a knock in his debut. Love that for him. Noelvi Marte plays walk-off hero in Game 1. The Blue Jays hit 11 home runs in this series, though. George Springer with 2 in Game 2, then another in Game 3. The only qualified batter with a higher average than him is Aaron Judge. That's pretty good company. Reds have lost 10 of 13, and they host the Mets next. Keep your eye on that. Cardinals win 2 out of 3 versus the A's. The A's put up 7 runs on their old friend Sonny Gray, who debuted with them 13 years ago. I hate getting old. I was a freshman in high school. Trev, you just hit 24 home runs. Times were good, man. Take me back. Sevy with 5 scoreless. Inject that into my veins. Moving on. The Cubs, they win a home series against the Braves. They take care of business. No one tell Carson Kelly that April has ended because he's still having an awesome year. 3-run homer and a walk-off single in Game 1. The Braves blew a 6-1 lead in that game. Woof! Shota Imanaga, quality start in Game 2. Cade Horton, your National League Rookie of the Year? Sure, why not? 5 more zeros for him in Game 3. His ERA is below 1 since the All-Star break. Kyle Tucker hit a home run at Wrigley. That hasn't happened in a while. That's a good sign. Ha-Sung Kim is a Brave now? Sure. 2 knocks. Put that on your Immaculate Grid cheat sheet. Rays and Braves, that's kind of a tough one. The Giants sweep the Rockies on the road. Are we back? Chili Goo Bear. Look it up on Instagram. Drew Gilbert is here, folks. He has arrived. 4 hits in Game 1, including a home run. Plus, guys are choking him out in the dugout. It's a celebration. Willie Adames does not want to tell you about it, so don't ask him. Rafael Devers spanks a Kyle Freeland fastball, and the bench is clear because of it. Logan Webb has some choice words. So does Matt Chapman, who got suspended, appealed, played in the game he was supposed to be suspended for, and hit 2 home runs. Because that's what the Giants do now. Do they have some machismo going? They're 4 games back of the wild card. Stay tuned. Trev's got the standings. The Orioles sweep the Padres. What's going on in San Diego? The Orioles have won 5 of the last 6 games. Tyler Wells returns from the IL with the W. Jeremiah Jackson, 13-game hit streak. He was once a Met, and I miss him dearly. Padres have lost 6 of 7 games and 3 straight series. Uh-oh, are they sliding down the standings? And the Pirates sweep the big bad Dodgers at home. 14 of their last 25 they've won against the Dodgers, and they're 19-11 against a bunch of playoff teams this year. They're a winning team since Don Kelly took over as manager. 52-51, that means something to me. Shohei got scratched from his start in this one, but hit his 100th home run as a Dodger, the fastest Dodger to ever reach that number. The Dodgers 4-12 against losing teams since August began, and that is what happened in the National League.
Wow.
Woo!
On the mark.
Just in time. Just in time.
Yes.
Just in time.
Oh my gosh, some really, really good stuff. Yes, Ha-Sung Kim is a Brave. It might be my favorite move of this entire year. I don't care who you think is great. Ha-Sung Kim next year.
He's got that
16
option,
mil.
right? So he's coming back to the Braves.
Yeah,
I
he's
hate that.
taking that option. Hell yeah, he is going to be a Brave. They're going to be World Series champs 2026, Atlanta Braves. Everybody knows.
They got their shortstop.
And they got a fucking stud starting pitcher too in Waldrip. Jolly, excellent. He looks good.
He looks right. Damn, he looks right.
He looks good, dude.
Oh no, demon.
It's a great move.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too far into it.
Like, why didn't more teams do that? Why didn't a playoff team do that?
1 year, 16 mil for a guy that can play shortstop, and this is for next year, obviously. Yeah. It was a great deal for them. I love it. I love it. Do you need the standings?
I would like to hear them. Yeah, I would.
Okay. Well, before we get into the NL standings, I need to talk to you about DraftKings. This episode is sponsored by DraftKings. And Jolly, we're talking football. The next great touchdown is coming, and you can bet on it with the DraftKings Sportsbook. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook right now, new customers, you bet $5 and you get $300 instantly in bonus bets and $200 off YouTube's NFL Sunday Ticket using promo code JMBaseball. You got to get that, people. You got to have Sunday Ticket. JM Baseball get you $200 off of that. That's amazing. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers, use our promo code JM Baseball and bet just $5 on any wager. You get $300 in bonus bets and $200 off Sunday Ticket. YouTube's got it. NFL Sunday Ticket. You get that instantly off when you bet $5 on any wager. That's promo code JM Baseball only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. I lost my first bet of the season last night. I took the Eagles.
Trev, Rams Texans Sunday. Give me a score prediction.
50-0. Rams.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought was coming. Okay.
My God. Let's go 9. Let's do it.
Come on.
All right. I got the standings for you. You need them like you need.
I want them.
We're going to start out in Jolly Olives, NL East, where my Phillies have a commanding 6-game lead, 81-59 for them. They're running away with it. The Mets, good job, 75-65, 10 games over 500. That's good math. You know who's 10 games under 500? The Marlins, 65-75. The Braves, 63-77, and the Nats, 56-83. Then in the Central, Milwaukee's going to be popping champagne shortly, 86-55 for them. They're 5.5 games up on the Cubs, 80-60. The Reds back at 500, 70-70. The Cardinals 1 game under 5 at 70-71. And the Pirates, as you mentioned, playing a lot better baseball, just swept the Dodgers, 64-77. Out west, so weird, man. The Dodgers, are they like the Dodgers, Padres, Houston,
no one wants to win.
Mariners?
No one
Same
wants
thing.
the division. It's so
Nobody
weird.
wants it. But the Dodgers ruin baseball. Remember that. 78-62, 2-game lead over the Padres, who are 76-64. The Giants clawing back into wild card contention, 71-69 for them. The Arizona Diamondbacks, Dalton's Arizona Diamondbacks, 70-71, and then Colorado, 39-101 in the wild card. Right now, the Chicago Cubs have the number 1 spot. They're crushing it. They're going to be locked into that. Padres next up, who have a 1-game lead over your Mets, who have a 4-game lead over the Giants, 5-game lead over the Reds, and that's all I can talk about right now. Oh, why did the D-backs get snuck in there?
1 game under. Come on, man. They're right there.
So are the Cardinals. I don't see them there.
Oh,
That's
Rob.
if the playoffs started
what's going
today,
on?
If the playoffs started today, the Phillies and Milwaukee would have the buys, which would set up this wild card round. It'd be the Mets at the Dodgers. We saw that last year. And then we had the San Diego Padres at the Cubs. That's the real Eddie Vedder ball. People forget about that. He's a Cubs fan. He's from San Diego.
I've heard a lot of discourse about the Eddie Vedder Bowl recently.
Yeah, you want to know why?
Sure.
This is the truth. I've met Eddie Vedder multiple times. My bad.
Wow.
Yeah. He's just a baseball fan, dude. Like he's
That's
worn
awesome.
Twins stuff before.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like come on. He's a Ron Cooper fan.
This was a Pearl Jam household growing up, so that means a lot to me.
I've seen them a ton. I got a set list from them in my house, Jolly, that he wrote himself.
Oh, shit. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It better be framed. It better not be in some drawer somewhere.
No, it's framed. It's
All right,
framed.
thank
I have
God.
it prominently displayed with the concert
valuable.
poster right next to it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. September 21st, 2013.
Okay. I'm glad we got that Eddie Vedder talk out there.
Couple quick Eddie Vedder stories.
Couple.
Number one, in Kansas City, we're hanging out with Eddie Vedder in this like big like meeting room. It was like not like a room at this hotel. It was like a big conference room. That's what the word I was looking for. He hung out. He was like playing songs for us. We ended up throwing ice at the Dewey Brothers tour van. Like we were like 8 stories up throwing ice at it and just having like a great time. I smoked a cigarette with Eddie Vedder.
Cover your ears. Cover your ears.
Unbelievable. That's not what I do, but I.
Wait, what year is it?
2012 or 13.
You're fine.
Yeah. And then last one, Eddie Vedder would always meet us in Seattle. He'd come and hang out in the clubhouse, and we played the Mariners. It was a 2-hour game, the fastest game ever at that time. Again, it's around 2012, 2013. So games were like 5 hours. But we played a quick one. Felix almost no hit us.
I was gonna say Felix was definitely pitching. Yeah,
I think I got a knock off him to like end his.
Oh, it's that game. I've seen this highlight. Yeah.
Eddie Vedder never left our clubhouse. We came back in. He was like shit faced off this like keg that was in there. And we like hugged and embraced. It was so fun.
You guys had a keg in the clubhouse?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, bro. There it is.
Oh, Twins. Let's go, baby.
That's what I'm saying. Eddie Vedder likes baseball, not just those teams.
Enough of that. All right,
I guess we should talk about what happened in the National League. We probably should end the episode after that, but we won't. We'll go. Let's start with in Milwaukee, where the Phillies took 2 of 3. Phillies, every time you want to bat him down a little bit with the Zach Wheeler news, or somebody goes into a slump, they just start winning games. You mentioned Jacob Mizorowski, who I liken to Paul Skeens. I think he has the stuff. Obviously, does not have the command or the polish just yet in his career. I think he can get there. I can't wait for your video on him. He gets blown up a little bit there. You mentioned Jose Quintana when you ran through it. Another quality start for him. And then Freddie Peralta has been getting the job done for the Brewers. But here's the thing, dude. The Phillies just mash the ball.
Yeah,
they do. They found their center field option. That's something that we got to talk about with the Phillies, kind of what they're doing in the outfield. Bader's going to be the center fielder. He's been great for them ever since he came over there. And then they found, right now for them, Brandon Marsh, Kepler against righties. And then you're going Castellanos and Weston Wilson against lefties. And I think that can work for them, especially during the playoffs. You play those matchups. You have – if you against the lefty, if you start those guys, you have Kepler, you have Marsh ready to come off the bench. I think it works. Phillies are a force. Milwaukee's a force. This could end up being, an awesome playoff series, maybe an NLCS preview. But the Phillies just kind of rock and roll here and take it from them, Joel.
Yeah, this was an impressive series for the Phillies. There was obviously the sweep at Citi Field, but they responded to that really well and extended their division lead since that matchup. For me, you took the words out of my mouth with Harrison Bader, because he's been maybe the best bat that was traded at the deadline. He's got a 131 OPS plus, and also he can do this, which is pretty helpful, I'd say, in center field. He's been awesome.
His defense has been incredible.
I mean, that image of Duran pitching and Bader making that catch, that speaks to their deadline. I think they might have had the best deadline of any team.
Where were they before, Jolly?
I can't for the life of me remember. I think they were in Japan maybe, or minors.
I know this gets said a lot about Harrison Bader, but he really does. And I really enjoy this. We had two of the best on the Twins this year, not on the Twins anymore. Two of the best footwork guys in the game. Harrison Bader's footwork in the outfield is flawless, basically. Never going to get he doesn't take bad routes. Great routes, good footwork, always behind the baseball. Carlos Correa at shortstop, the other one I mentioned, just incredible footwork. And now they're both gone, but Bader, awesome in the outfield. I'm stoked his bat is there because he seems to me, there's a few guys like this around the league. They want the bright lights.
Yes.
They want to play in the big markets.
Yes.
They want to play in playoff atmospheres. We remember what Bader did for the Yankees in the postseason. He's doing it now in the stretch run for the Phillies. I'm excited for the guy. I think that I didn't really know him, got to know him this year. He's great for the clubhouse and fits that like alpha male Phillies clubhouse that they have.
And like they got big game players, man. Like I really, the back of their bullpen is scary now. Like, so they added Duran, that's the head of the snake now, but Tanner Banks is sneaky, had an amazing year for them. Strom has been doing his thing for like 3 years now. Alvarado's back. Orion Kirkering has been holding steady.
Say his name.
David Robertson is in the mix now too, baby. Like any team could have made that move. Like
any team.
David Robertson's going to be doing this every year. I was like, I'm going to pitch the last 2 months of the year. If you want me, come get me. The Phillies came and got him, and now they have their 7th inning guy, and they have like 5 relievers they can trust. Whereas in April and May, Jordan Romano was closing games for them, and his numbers on the year are ugly. Like, it's tough. So the fact that they solved that issue, they found a center fielder that's defensively capable and also raking. Those were 2 of their biggest issues because no one's worried about their rotation, even with the Wheeler injury. And as we know, the lineup can mash, and Kyle Schwarber leads that as well as Bryce Harper. So the Phillies, they're getting scary at the right time because last year the story was hot start, and then they kind of just treaded water for the rest of the year. They're playing some of their best baseball in September right now, which you couldn't say they did last year. And I think it's going to make all the difference if they get this bye and they can set their rotation up the way they want to. They're becoming maybe the favorite again. I don't know. And this was kind of a convincing series for them.
David Robertson, 11 outings for the Phillies, 9 clean already.
Obvious.
Yeah, he's doing it. And they have enough starting pitching, even without Wheeler, to get this done. You mentioned the bullpen. They are set up really nice. For Milwaukee, I think you just chalked this up to do. We just played a ton of games in a row.
Yes.
After Monday, they had played 19 games in 18 days. They went 9-10. I think they'll take that.
Yeah.
Especially with the division lead that they have. They had an off day Tuesday. They finished the series Wednesday and Thursday. They end up getting the dub on Wednesday and then just got shut out on Thursday. So difficult series for them. They actually lost on Monday. It was the second time they've lost when scoring 8+ runs this season. It was the first time since March 29th. So 28-2 because they don't give up many runs.
Good math there.
But this is still and obviously a very, very scary team. I think a team that is well positioned for the playoffs. They have a deep lineup. They do all the things right, take good at bats, all the things that you always talk about with the Brewers. They're still doing it. Jacob Misiorowski, though, is, I think, to me, he's the factor. He's the X factor for the Brewers in the postseason. If he can get right, and I don't know what that necessarily means. What get right has to be. If it's, can you go through the lineup twice? Like I think that's what you need. Get through the lineup twice clean. That takes the Brewers from. I know they have the best record in baseball. Do they still? I think they do.
I think they do. Yeah.
That takes them from, the A tier to the S tier?
Okay. Hip to it.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
If he is the guy that we saw early on and can somehow find that again, that's what makes them a true World Series contender, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know if he gets a start in the playoffs. Like, they have a really good rotation, and maybe this is like a deep bullpen weapon or something, like a 2-inning monster out of your pen. And maybe the Brewers have to start thinking about using him in this role now, so then when it gets to October, he'll be effective or at the very least comfortable in it.
That's the thing. We have now, again, 21 games left. So for him, if he continues to start, we're talking another 3-4 starts.
Yeah.
Like, what do they do? Does he figure some things out? Do they transition him into that role? We will see. Both these teams very good. A great series for them. And a great series for the Phillies.
Absolutely. Yelich, heal up, man. Need you. Need you. Yeah, the quote on Yelich was Pat Murphy said, I think it's pretty common for someone who had that surgery to sit at some point due to wear and tear. He said you're going to have a flare-up again or stiffness or soreness and stuff like that. It was very vague, which I didn't love. But
I haven't reached out to him yet. Try to leave the guy alone. Excuse me. Leave the guy alone during the year. Sure. But yes, I mean, the back has been an issue, and it's finally felt good this year. He had some big pieces of bone removed from his back. I think they're bone or something.
I'm no
disgusting.
Doctor.
He showed me. Yeah, obviously they need him healthy, ready to go. So look, I think we'll see that a lot for the Brewers and some of these teams down the stretch. They're not going to risk anything. They're going to start to rest some guys. You might see some interesting lineups from these teams, especially as we get like 2 weeks from the end of the season and we still have a 6-game lead. Like, we'll start to see some of these guys get some rest.
For sure.
Let's go. I mean, Texas Rangers, Diamondbacks. I think I'm good on that one. Texas Rangers, you got to keep going. Miami and Washington, I think I'm good on that one. Go Nats, you swept it. Way to go. Love that. You got anything on those two series you want to mention?
No, the only thing I want to say is that every time I look at the standings and the Marlins are still above the Braves and Nationals, just kind of messes with my brain a little bit.
A little bit.
What
They've
happened?
had some runs. They've had some runs as a team, streaky team. Comeback kids, I think they're calling them this year.
But what are the Braves doing down there?
The Braves?
What are they doing down there?
They're fine. They won the World Series in 2021, remember?
You want to do Braves Cubs? That's got some juice.
Braves Cubs?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I mean, yes, but not yet.
Shut
I'm
down.
I'm
Holy
it,
shit. Okay.
I have to scroll down a little bit. Blue Jays Reds.
Okay.
I like this one a lot.
Okay.
Blue Jays are, I think, a team, and we've talked about them quite a bit this year, obviously, as they're in first place in the AL East, but they're a team I think that's surprised a lot of people because they've had some interesting guys step up. Now, George Springer has been, I mean, he deserves to be in the MVP discussion. He's not going to win MVP, but he should definitely get some down ballot votes for what he's done. But it's been a magical season for the Blue Jays because you're talking about, you extend Vladdy. Thing you need to do the most in your franchise, you got it done. You got guys like George Springer doing it. Bo's having a resurgent year. Are they going to re-sign him? I sure hope so for the Blue Jays' sake. And now, like, the Braves were supposed to be one of the teams that Bo was going to look out. Now I think they have their shortstop now.
Probably.
So that's interesting for Blue Jays fans to look at. But then it's the depth of their lineup. I keep saying it over and over again, and it really came into fruition in that third game here. This is what makes this team different and what makes them very, very scary in the playoffs. They get down 5-0, right? George Springer hits a freaking bomb to center field, get him back to 5-1. And then it's George Springer homer, Dalton Varsho homer, Alejandro Kirk homer, Addison Barger 2-run homer, Vladdy homer. All of a sudden, they're back in the lead. Like, you got to be able to hit for power and hit for homers. They have that up and down the lineup. So like it's kind of what I've seen from them this entire year is as their lineup started to lengthen, as Barger became a guy, as Varsho came back, like they just the length of their lineup has lengthened. Yeah. And they're scary up and down. And I think that's what's going to propel them, man. If they're going to make a real true run at this thing, not at the AL East, great, happy for you guys, but a real true run in the playoffs, that has to stay consistent.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting quality enough pitching performances. Like Shane Bieber, his line in game 3 isn't great, but that was after giving up 5 runs in the second inning. He goes 6 innings. That's what they needed there. Their lineup, I mean, Barger had a big series after a pretty deep slump for him. Dalton Varsho has a 902 OPS on the year, and he's like the 4th guy in the lineup that you mentioned when you talk about the Jays. Kirk's turned it on, Vladdy doing his thing. I mean, this is kind of what we expect from them in their best form. It's a lineup where 1 through 9, you don't really get a ton of breathing room. And it made these losses for the Reds kind of especially backbreaking because we talked a lot this year about how the Reds haven't really been an offensive force. At times it's felt like Ellie and 8 other guys. They got tons of run support in this series. 9 runs in game 2 and 9 runs in game 3, and they lost both those games, especially with some of the guys they traded for pitching in those games as well. So the Reds have a ton of bullpen questions they need to answer. They haven't been getting great starting pitching performances. They got one good one from Hunter Green, which was a welcome sight. I think it was the first time he went 6 innings in like a really long time. But they have a big weekend series coming up hosting the Mets. That kind of has a lot of wildcard implications. Same for the Jays for their division implications hosting the Yankees this weekend. So this was a turning point series, I think, for both these teams where, either way, one team had to lose, and it was going to be a devastating loss for that team. And the Blue Jays, this is what good teams do. They go on the road, and they beat good teams away from home. And I think that this was a convincing one for them, especially coming back down from 5-0, like it was nothing.
I think one thing we'll have to look at for the Blue Jays, again, snaps for them, great series, great season so far. What are they going to do with the back end of the bullpen? I think they got to figure that aspect out. Not a lot of time to figure it out. So that's a little bit of scariness for the Blue Jays. But other than that, I mean, this is a very, very good baseball team, and they've been playing that way for quite some time. Love this quote from John Snyder on George Springer's impact. He's talking about when they're down 5. After we're down 5, that was an unbelievable swing, dead center. He's been doing it all year. I'll say it now. I think he deserves MVP consideration. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but I mean, this dude's hitting over 300, 27 homers, 72 runs driven in, 956 OPS. He's playing his butt off. I love him getting recognition. There's actually 2 guys right now who this is a little off the beaten path for us, but George Springer has a stutter. And I think that's important to talk about because a lot of kids deal with that. And, you're seeing a guy at the big league level, one of the biggest stages in baseball having success with this. And then also Susan Slusser put out a great article about Matt Chapman, who has Tourette syndrome. And it's actually kind of like started to come out a little bit more. When I played with him, I didn't really notice it too much, but you're seeing some facial movements from him and stuff. And he's just like an absolute like stud. So I think it's really important for, kids who are dealing with this that probably get made fun of, probably get bullied, to say like, fuck you guys. Look at George Springer and Matt Chapman. So I love that. I'm dealing with young kids now, so I understand like they come home from school sometimes. Oh, this person said this to me. I'm like, okay, like, well, and it's great to have representation at the big league level where you can point to and say like, fuck you, man.
I love that, man. Yeah, just tell Ted, hey, George Springer's hitting 302, man. Don't worry about it.
He wears glasses, or like he needs to wear glasses. He doesn't always wear them because he can still see, but he's got like one eye that's less than the other. He's like embarrassed to wear glasses. So the other day
it's an accessory, man. It's fashion.
I was like, dude, like everybody wears glasses, Teddy. I said, most guys wear contacts. You'll get to the point where you can wear contacts if you want. But I was like, who's the coolest guy on the Dodgers? He's like, Shohei. I was like, well, like, no, not really. The coolest guy on the Dodgers is Kike Hernandez. Everybody loves Kike Hernandez.
Come on.
And he wears glasses.
Yep.
So
I love that.
It's just cool for kids to see something like that. I don't know. Off the beaten path. Nobody cares, sure, but I wanted to make that.
I cared, Trev. I'll speak up.
Cardinals take 2 or 3 from the A's. Kind of over that. You said you want to talk Braves Cubs. I'll let you go.
Before I got, shut down. It's your show. It's whatever. It's fine.
We're Crom Pod.
I didn't take it personally. No, this was a good series for the Cubs. They've been playing much better ball as of late. While the Padres are sliding, the Cubs are kind of locking in their top wildcard spot. And they got it done offensively. I wanted to shout out Matt Shaw, who there was kind of question as to whether or not he get replaced at the deadline or sent down again. He's been hitting the ball really well, made a really good play in this series as well, snaring a liner. And the Cubs, this is just them at their best form, man. They're getting enough from their starting pitching. The bullpen's holding it together, and the offense is mashing. And this series could have got away from them. They were down 6-1 in Game 1 before coming back and winning that thing, thanks to Carson Kelly putting the whole team on his back. Really like this Cubs team. Glad that they're kind of out of the funk. They had a little dog day stretch there in August that PCA became the face of. They're playing good ball now.
Do we have to worry about PCA?
No, I mean, I know that people are seeing his numbers drop from where they were, and that's you want him to keep playing at that pace. But I still take the guy with the 750 OPS that can play the best center field defense of anyone in baseball. That's still a good player, even if he's not going to win MVP.
I mean, look, I'm not worried about him because he has the floor that everyone talks about because of the defense, because of the base running. Since the beginning of August, though, it's pretty bad, Jolly.
Well, this is kind of the league adjusting back to him. He came up last couple of years, didn't hit well, adjusted to the league, and now you're seeing, I guess you can call it a sophomore slump, kind of. But PCA is still young, and I still believe he'll be able to adjust right back, as we've seen him do it. Once I see you do it at the major league level, to the level that he did for the amount of time that he did, upwards of 3 months, half a season, I believe that hitter's still in there somewhere. It just might not happen again this year.
See, I disagree. I think that it's great that he's struggling now. I think he can make the adjustment through September and be ready for the playoffs.
Okay, I
mentioned the numbers: 163, 217, 231. So it's bad.
Yeah.
5 walks to 29 strikeouts. Walks are never really part of his game. Something that he'll have to figure out. I think that will make him a better hitter as he sees more pitches. Better plate discipline, better swinging at better pitches. All those good things. That's what plate discipline means. Nice, Trev. Adjustment needs to be made. I do think if they really want to make a run, it can't be PCA, the defensive center fielder.
Yeah,
it needs to be PCA, guy that can hit bombs and do it for you.
Every member of the Cubs starting 9 has an OPS plus above 100 right now. If you go on their page, every single one.
Love that for them. And you mentioned Cade Horton, hell of a year for him. And all right, Cubbies, I see you. For some reason, I'm always man, I always think about Craig Counsell first with the Cubs. Why is that?
Can I say something? I never think about that whole crosstown thing until people when we do baseball today. Sometimes you'll bring it up, or Rosie will bring it up. I heard Jake talk about it. It never crosses my mind, that whole debacle.
The reason it does is because they had this off-season fan fest. And it was like a concert poster, and all the names were really small, and it was Craig Counsell.
And it was Cubs legends at the bottom too.
Yeah, we're what? All right, last team we really got to give love to. Honestly, Orioles, you sweep the Padres. Snaps for the Orioles, you have been playing better baseball. Padres figured it out. Dodgers get swept by the Pirates. What the fuck?
Wolf.
Both these teams need to figure out. I'm not even going to talk about them. Last series we'll talk about before we get onto the back half of the show are the Giants sweeping the Rockies. I know it's not a big deal for the series, but in general, the Giants are back probably a little bit too late in the season for them to be going. What I got on them is their offense is obviously just kicked into gear. They've been crushing the ball, huge crooked numbers throughout the month of August and now into September. They've gotten themselves within striking distance. I think it is too little, too late for them. We mentioned it on the way through. This is the Devers, Kyle Freeland, debacle. I'm sure, Rob, you got the video ready to go. Devers hits a homer off him, doesn't really do anything differently than this is like very tame for 2025.
Yes.
And Freeland took some objection to it and started chasing him down. Matt Chapman ends up getting suspended. It was a big fracas. I don't know, man. I've done this on Baseball Today already. I think Freeland was just way out of line here. Like, this was a soft thing for him. And the reason I say that is because you're involving everybody else.
Yeah.
It's not mano a mano. If it was mano a mano, go after him. You don't like something, go after him. But it's not. You're putting your teammates in danger here. So I don't like it. Giants, great job getting back into it. But again, I think it's too little too late. What do you got?
If anything, I think this scuffle was great for the Giants. They have a little edge going right now. They have this new dugout celly where they're like attacking each other. They're hitting monster home runs. I mean, they're
not attacking each other. Tell them what they're doing, Jolly.
They're choking each other. They're choking each other a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's their thing. I'm not going to question it. Whatever works.
Okay.
And you might look at this and say, okay, they swept the Rockies. Who cares? But they took 2 out of 3 on the road against the Brewers. They swept the Cubs, and then they beat the Orioles in a series. So they're playing good ball against good teams and bad teams. And it's coming together maybe just in the nick of time for them. I will say they have 7 games left. There's the joke. That's Drew Gilbert, though. He's a psycho. I love him. I do really wish I got to see him play for the Mets.
It's also Matt Chapman.
Yeah, and like whenever they get asked about it, they're all kind of being a little closed off, which I kind of like. It's like, leave some of the mystery there. Giants, 7 games left against the Dodgers, though, this season. So if they can come out of that with like a 4-3 or something like that, I don't know. Then you start to have to really consider them,
Consider them in what? In the West?
No, in the wild card. But I'm saying they have this kind of foe in front of them that has had their number recently. If they can go out there and win those games, I start to get a little convinced. I don't know. They're only 4 games back. We have a whole month left.
We have 21 games.
I don't feel safe.
I'm just saying. I
don't feel safe.
Do they play the Mets again?
They don't. And the Mets have the head-to-head. So the Giants would need to win a lot of games, but they've been winning a lot of games.
That's the problem, man. It's just if you don't have the head-to-head, it just makes it so difficult to make those games up. It really, really does. We did this on Baseball Today the other day. Like, what would the Giants have to go? Like, they'd have to win like 16 of those games.
I think it's
at the very least.
Yeah, I think it's around 16 or 17, something like that.
Of 21.
Because they would need to jump the Mets fully if they tie.
Crazy,
yeah, no, it's a lot, but they're playing good ball, and it's fun to see.
Padres and Dodgers, like,
no one wants to win the West. No one wants to win.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get on to the second half of the show, and that starts with Standout Performances.
Standout Performances. This guy stood out for Trev.
Say what?
Gets me every time. Jolly, I'll start off.
Sure.
Because this is my house. I sleep here.
Okay.
On Wednesday, a team we didn't talk about this episode. That's fine. Joe Adell, though, went 2 for 4, a homer, 4 runs driven in. He also had a stolen base to boot. The reason I brought him up is I've been saying this about Junior Caminero, 40 and 100 is crazy. The gold standard for every single hitter in the big leagues is 3,100. I don't care who you are. 3,100 is an absolute gangbuster year, and Joe Adell is quietly creeping there. 33 homers on the year, 90 runs driven in. He's got to get to 100. Overall numbers on the year, 301 on base, 499 slug for the 800 on the nose OPS. Very good. 117 OPS plus. He's been a guy who we've talked about for a long time. He's had some runs. He's a very streaky player. But to have a 100 season under your belt, it's pretty cool. He's in arbitration right now, so he's going to get a big bump. I always like when players do that, but I don't know, man. Like, I think Joe Adell, I don't know if he ever would see himself hitting 30 and 100, and here he has a chance to do it. So I wanted to give him a shout out, and I wanted to give the Angels a shout out because I know we didn't talk about them too much.
Great pick, Trev. I'm going to be a little repetitive with my standout because we just talked about him. But I'm picking Drew Gilbert because I want to shout him out. This was the guy the Mets traded to go get Tyler Rogers. Gilbert came up, kind of the Giants were playing all their young guys and then, gave him the reins a little bit. His first 14 games, he goes 3 for 31, strikes out 10 times, doesn't draw a single walk, and you're thinking, how could it get worse? Well, past week, Drew Gilbert's been really, really good, and he had a standout performance against these Rockies, a 4-for-4 night, a homer, 2 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. He's hitting .526 in his last 6 games with 6 extra base hits. Maybe the Giants have something on their hands here. He's a firecracker. I really wanted to see him play for the Mets at some point. Sad that he got traded. And we may be seeing something special maybe over in the Bay.
Hell of a standout, Jolly. That brings us to Fuego.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
And Fuego is brought to you by Corona, the official cerveza of Talking Baseball. For the series, we mentioned this guy in passing. Dalton Varsho goes 5 for 12, 3 homers, 4 runs driven in. In 2025, Jolly, Varsho's got 18 homers in 51 games. In 2024, he had 18 homers in 136 games. He's homered in 3 consecutive games for the first time since 2022 when he was with the D-backs. Do you remember when he was a catcher?
I do.
Catcher, center fielder. Maybe one of the most unique, interesting players in the game. Shout out Dalton Varsho. On the sheet, it says New York Yankee outfielder Juan Soto. That's a typo because he plays for the Mets. 5 for 11s in the series. Triple, 2 homers, 7 runs driven in, 4 walks because, of course. He became the first player on Monday in the modern era to hit a go-ahead grand slam and a go-ahead multi-run triple in the same game. This is the craziest stat. Love this for him. Soto broke Mickey Mantle's record with his 116th game with at least 1 homer and 1 walk before turning 27. Let me repeat that. He has 116 games with both a homer and a walk before turning 27. That is unbelievable. How about my guy Hunter Goodman? Let's freaking go. Yeah, you got swept by the Giants. No one cares, dude. You swing like Josh Donaldson, so I love you. 6 for 13, a double, a homer, 7 runs driven in. He's had consecutive 3 RBI games for the second time this season. He's the first player to do that since other former catcher, Elias Diaz. Andrew Benintendi went off against my Twins. 5 for 11, 2 homers, 6 runs driven in. I guess good for you, Benny Biceps. He's paid. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. For the week, Willie Adames got into a little scuffle a little bit. 10 for 25, 4 homers, 10 runs driven in, 8 runs scored. He's got 26 homers on the season. Jolly, why is that important? Well, the Giants haven't had a 30-homer guy since 2004. I don't know if you remember him, Barry Bonds.
It rings a bell.
Yeah.
Rings a bell.
4 homers away. Let's go. Ian Hatt, my guy, 12 for 28, 3 doubles, 3 homers, 9 runs driven in the series. He also scored 6 and walked 3 times. We talked about Drew Gilbert. He went 10 for 19, 2 homers, 3 doubles. I think you mentioned him. Jeremiah Jackson, not Jackson Holiday, but Jeremiah Jackson goes 10 for 32, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 8 runs driven in. He had his 13-game hidden streak snapped on Wednesday. It was the longest by an Orioles rookie since Colton Cowser's 17-game streak last season. And how about Byron Buxton? 8 for 24, 3 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers. Among 250 players with 300 plate appearances this season, Buxton is the only person to not hit into a double play. Pretty good right there.
It's
I
a
hit
fun
into a lot.
stat.
People forget I led the league one year. That is in Fuego. It's brought to you by Corona. And you want to know what I love most about baseball, Jolly? It's kicking back, ordering some Coronas, and enjoying the ride together. You and I should do that.
I'm down.
Me,
Name a
you,
time and
couple
place,
Coronas.
Trev. Time and place.
Oh. From the moment we all bail on work to enjoy opening day to the last play of the World Series, baseball is the one sport where anything can happen. Any team can catch fire, go on a run, thinking about you Giants, and take their fans to the promised land. For us baseball guys, there's nothing quite like sharing a Corona, relaxing, and enjoying every unpredictable moment with friends. So go ahead, turn the cheap seats into your own private island with some ice-cold Coronas, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball. Crack open a Corona, squeeze in a lime, and enjoy America's favorite pastime with Mexico's favorite present time. Get yours at order. That's a great line. Get yours at ordercorona.com. 21 and over only. Enjoy responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Now, after Fuego, we go to batters who are struggling just to get these guys off this list and on to Fuego. And we're going to start out with Minnesota outfielder James Outman. I used to love this guy. I thought he's got a lot of potential. He can play outfield a little bit. Got to pick up the bat. Got to stop striking out. 3 for 32, which is a 0.94 average. His last extra base hit, Jolly, was on August 20th. He's hitting 146 since being acquired by the Twins. How about Mike Trout? I saw him walk last night against Noah Cameron and watching that game. 4 for 35 for a 114 average. He hit his 398th homer on August 6th. Has not recorded a homer since. That's 22 games and 94 plate appearances. Marcell Ozuna from your Braves, 4 for 30, 133 average. He's batting just 203 with runners on base this season. That's tied for the lowest in the National League. Alex Bregman in a slump. Red Sox don't care. 8 for 52, 154 average. He's batting and slugging .088 against right-handers over his last 14 days, but he's still running the ball out hard. Got the go-ahead infield single because of that. So shout out Alex Bregman. Got to get off this list, though. My guy. Teoscar Hernandez for the Dodgers, 6 for 37, 162 average. He's batting just 170 on outside pitches this season, so you know where guys are going to go to him. That's the lowest in the National League. He has a 40% quality at bat rate this season. Muting myself in 3, 2. And now we're done with the batters who are struggling. You know I hate doing that. It brings us to the start of the weekend.
Awards!
Gotta love Kels. Can't wait to see her in a couple weeks. We're doing Blitzball.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Kel. Shout out Case. Shout out JoJo. Jolly, since you're the guest, I will let you go first with your award.
You're a gentleman, Trevor Plouffe. Needs to be said more often. My award, it's going to be the Rest is Still Unwritten award. Because some people close the storybook on one of my favorite players to watch when he's healthy. And that's Trevor Story, who's been a sensation for the Boston Red Sox. He's played in 137 games this year. Hasn't played in that many games since he was a Colorado Rocky. The front half of his contract with the Red Sox could not have gone worse. Personally, I was losing a little bit of faith as well, but he's been playing some of the best ball of any shortstop in baseball this year. He's 2 homers away from going 25-25 on the year. He would be just the 16th shortstop to have a season like that since 2000. So it needs to be said that in terms of power speed threats in baseball right now, he is one of the best. OPS over 800 in each of the last 3 months, and he's off to a red-hot start in September, 5 for 12 with a homer and 4 RBI. Since July 29th, 305 batting average, 369 on base, 563 slug for the 931, 8 homers, 8 stolen bases. He has been an engine in that Red Sox offense, one that you might not think of when you think of their team. Names like Bregman probably comes first, then Duran, before he got hurt. Roman Anthony as well. But Trevor Story has been incredibly important to the Red Sox season being a success this year. And they're going to need him down the stretch now that they'll be without Roman Anthony. He's been consistent as ever. And hey, man, the rest of that contract and the rest of his career, it's still unwritten. Trevor Story, good ball player, finally healthy, and he gets my award.
I love that. I love watching Trevor Story, not only at the dish, he's been playing some great shortstop as well, and just a leader. I think a guy that would be welcome in any clubhouse, but that combination of him and Bregman in the Boston Red Sox clubhouse, I honestly think what has made their season. Yes, we've had some great contributions. You're talking about Rafael out there, Willie Abreu throughout the year, and obviously Roman Anthony, but those two guys kind of spearheading the leadership role, can't get better than that. For my award, I kind of hate that I didn't know you were going Trevor Story. I probably would have switched mine up.
Oh, shit.
We're going to AL East. People are going to talk about this, Charlie.
Coastal elitist. Yeah.
My award is going to a guy who could have been broken very, very early on in his career. Okay, let's flash back to 2019. Let's flash back to the Brewers Nats series. Let's flash back to Juan Soto hitting a ball to a certain young right fielder. Now, we've seen this guy a couple times bounce back from what I'll call, a very, very difficult situation. I'm talking about Trent Grisham here, outfielder for the Yanks, who just hit his 30th home run. If you recall, 2019, Soto hits the ball, it gets under his glove. The Nationals end up winning that game, winning the series, end up winning the World Series. He gets traded after that season. You know, a guy that only played 51 games for the Brewers, 22 years old at the time. Obviously, he was a first-round pick for them, so there's potential there. They end up trading him to the Padres. What does he do? Well, he's got to battle getting traded, having that memory in his head, and also the COVID year. Like, what a effed up time of his life. What does he do? He wins a Gold Glove, has an 808 OPS, 59 games. So he plays in every single game except one during that COVID-shortened season. Crushes it. Okay, great. Gets his value back. Has a couple really nice years in San Diego. Wins a second Gold Glove in 2022. Ends up getting traded to the Yankees. He's 27 years old that year. This is in 2024. Only plays in 76 games. Hits 190. And this is when, you know, his offense had been declining in San Diego the previous 2 years. So he hit 184, hit 198, hit 190. So, you know, basically we're thinking about this guy now as a glove first outfielder, a fourth outfielder, a guy that can fill in a pinch and do all these things. What does he do this year? The year before he's going to end up becoming a free agent. Well, 30 homers, 3.5 WAR is probably, and I got to ask Yankees fans more about this, the second most important guy in the team right now? Or this season, if it's not the second, he's the third. Like, you know, you can maybe mention some pitchers, maybe Schlittler's in there, I don't know. But what this guy's been able to do as a Yankee and the amount of money he's been able to earn himself is incredible. And, you know, look, the reason I'm giving this award is because it's not easy to get like beat down like him at the big league level and continue to find ways through it. Believe in yourself. You have to have teams give you opportunities, which he got this year, but you have to take advantage of those opportunities as well. So again, you go from 2019 on the world's biggest stage, just absolutely zooing a ball. The next year, you come back and win the fucking Gold Glove. Okay, then you have 3 straight years of just bad sub 200, sub Mendoza line batting averages. The homers, 13 in 2023, 9 last year in 24. And this year he's at 30. And they've been big freaking homers as well. They haven't been late game out of it. They've been big, big homers. And I'm guessing now he'll enter his age 29 season as a free agent. I'm guessing right now some team's going to probably give him, I would say, like a 3-year 45, maybe a 2-year 30. You think higher than that?
I think way
I'm on the
higher.
fence about what he's going to get.
Sure.
It's going to be an 8-figure contract. Like whatever it is, it's going to be 8 figures, and Trent Grisham is going to have a great basement and some really cool things to show because he showed perseverance and belief in himself, man. Like it's just a really cool story to me. And it's not, here's the thing, Jolly. He could earn more and more as the season goes on. If he's a postseason hero, then we're talking big, big money. I'd put him at, again, like I said, like 3 for 45, and that's a great payday for a guy like this. So shout out Trent Grisham, big sleep. Aaron Boone, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. 22 years old.
Aaron Boone did not come up with that nickname, by the way. That was a Jimmy thing, and
Sure
Aaron
was.
Boone gets credit for it. So shout out Big Sleep, and man, I root for guys like that.
Great pick for your award, man. I wanted to say this part because it's just fun baseball twist of fate kind of stuff. Trent Grisham on that 2019 Brewers team comes up and plays 30 games or 51 games, but he comes up at the end of the year. Do you remember why he came up?
2019. No, I don't.
Christian Yelich was on his way to winning NL MVP, and he got hurt at the beginning of the last month of the season. The Brewers needed a new right fielder. Up comes Grisham. He was pretty good for them in the regular season, and then, of course, that's pretty much all you remember about his Brewers tenure. But it's just funny how baseball works sometimes because he's coming full circle. He's going to have a 30-homer, 4-WAR season. I think he's going to get paid. There's not a lot of great position players. I think he's getting like 80 to 100, man. He can play.
No.
Yeah, he can play center field. He's a left-handed bat. He hit 30 home runs.
How many years?
5? He's 28.
You think he's going to get 5 for 20 a year. I don't know about that. I would love it.
Nick Castellanos got 5 for 100. Ryan Reynolds got 100 million, man. I don't think it's as crazy as you might think.
Well, let's hope so for our guy, Trent Grisham. Jolly, I appreciate you coming in, doing your thing, Big Pop. That's going to do it for us today. I believe Jakey Boy will be back on Monday.
Nice.
And we'll have a nice regular episode. Or maybe we'll kick him out because...
Jakes. Better be tan.
And don't...
Look at this. Look at this.
I'm not even in the picture, though.
I'll just wait.
There I am.
Hey, your neck looks kind of long there, man.
Teddy's got a bat that says, "To Teddy, love your Uncle Eddie."
That's awesome.
Eddie Vedder, yeah.
Shout out Eddie Vedder.
Shout out Eddie Vedder. Shout out Jolly Aldo.